It's the time to get down.
One of the top 3 teams to love.
I knew you was going to say that.
I actually think they are.
Wait, so what makes... Okay, now, before you go any further.
Working class team identification with their image. Working class image, tough guy, but fair, honest. They have an image of integrity.
And New England doesn't.
No, they just win too much. That's the only reason. I told you.
I got you.
Pittsburgh could be, but Pittsburgh Steelers is just a team to me that people just like.
Okay, got you.
I just think people like them. I mean, even if you don't like them, you don't hate them.
Right.
I mean, they're not a team that gets a whole lot of that going.
I got you.
Now, on the other hand, let's deal with the last 2. The Oakland Raiders and the Philadelphia Eagles. Well, the reason why we don't love to hate the Raiders is because they've been so piss poor for so long. Right. You get tired of beating that old raggedy, dumped up dog.
I agree.
Laying down in the corner moaning. You gonna walk over and kick him one more time, huh?
Right.
So there's nothing to even kick on. The Oakland Raiders are so piss poor. You're just waiting. Who hates them? In fact, you know what this? They mostly hate other people because they're trying to get the old Raider thing going. Rawr, rawr, cowboy. Those could be pirate. Rawr, rawr. I'll go get a game.
Okay.
Sorry, somebody. Okay. Right. Philadelphia Eagles, no, it's mainly because they're fans. Philadelphia fans, but look at them. They spend all their life eating pretzels and cheesesteaks.
I knew this was coming.
One of the most constipated cities in the United States. I have all my family in Philly. They're pissed off.
So I
have a lot of family in Philly.
I knew you was going to say that. That was my whole point.
I love them.
Okay.
They're wonderful folks.
All right.
Most wonderful.
All right.
The Hemsleys in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Donovan's, all those Hemsleys on the East Coast. Wonderful folks.
All right.
However, let's face it.
Okay.
There's no migration headed towards the city of liberty. They're not headed in that direction. No offense. Like all the New Yorkers, I tell them, there's no people ain't running from L.A. to New York. I don't know where you've been. No one's headed in that direction. Gee. All right. Well, anyway, so that's why.
Right.
So still the top team to hate, Vic, Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, that's your number one.
That's because they had the nerve to call themselves American team. We're still barfing over that one.
Okay, give me your next 2 in succession. Give me your next 2.
Then the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys is the number 1 team to hate. Number 2 team to hate is the New England Patriots.
I knew it.
Number 3 team to hate is the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay, that's cool.
And it could have been Oakland, like I said, but we're just tired of kicking that broke down dog.
See, so in other words,
go on and just put him out of his misery.
So since they're not winning, they don't rank until they start winning.
How you gonna feel mad at some person who's getting beat up every day? After a while, you just feel sorry for him. Come on and win, Al. Get Al Davis a win, please.
Right.
Justify his system. Make it seem like it's not an anachronism. Okay, it's an old system that doesn't work.
Right.
Al Davis the Raiders have become like the Clippers. Okay.
Right.
They are a perennial bottom, bad organization known for misorganization.
Okay.
And people don't no one gives them a chance until the owners are gone. Right. That's the same for both of those teams.
Right.
No one gives the Clippers a chance till their owner's gone.
Right.
And no one gives the Raiders a chance until their owner's gone. They have bad owners. Cheap, duddy, no change owners.
Okay. Well, then, and following on what you said, just to give people a kind of a heartbeat of where people feel Oakland is, because we covered this yesterday. We said, where do you feel Oakland and how many games they were going to win? And we floated around 500.
They're going to win an extra 1 or 2 games this year.
Right. Now, so that puts them, but remember the question yesterday was, do you believe that they will play 500 ball? And you have to hear what they're saying this morning.
Barely 500 ball. Yeah.
Okay, you're under.
You know what?
You're under on it.
I can predict it if you give me their exact schedule and we go down each team.
Well, you know what they're actually doing, Mario? They're looking at the teams and where they are. If the teams were playing last year, Denver, San Diego, those teams that were up, good, but those teams are looking to be down. So what they're adding now is that there's a chance that this team can play 500 or get a game over
Denver.
500.
Okay, let's specifically talk about who they can beat.
Right.
Is there not a chance they can beat Denver and San Diego this year?
Oh, yeah. They already said that Denver's way down.
Okay. And then San Diego, I'm not sure who they are.
I think San Diego's going to be San Diego. I think they're going to stay. They routinely can play good enough to win more than 10 games.
Oh, yeah.
But they still can't make it to the promised
They're not
land.
a contender.
Yeah.
They're not going to contend.
But you don't want to overlook San Diego because you're not going to walk past them. So that
No,
tells you
you're going to run past them, but you're still going to lose.
Okay, so that means
in other words, they're a perennial also ran.
now, Mario, you got to. Here's a point. From this side of the fence in this division, before you go over there and deal with the Pittsburghs and Baltimores, coming from the playoffs, the teams that have the best chance are going to be either Kansas City, San Diego, Oakland,
What a
Denver,
weak division.
Seattle. So where does that put San Diego? I still put them at the top of the list, and the AFC coming
That's
out of
why
the
I
West.
said it's a weak group. If they're weakened, the strength seems to be in the East.
That's what I was saying, that they will get by. So that pulls the Raiders up. Because then who's?
Oh, yeah.
So the Raiders has a good.
I said they're going to do
chance.
better than last year.
Yeah.
They'll do remarkably mediocre.
That's right. I agree. So by default, a down year can propel the Raiders to do better.
That's right.
And they're talking. You heard the quote by Al Davis on Jason Campbell.
No, what did he say? Did he stutter?
By the way that you're wrong, man. Why you want to be so mean? By the way that he is performing as it relates to preparing for the upcoming season, harkens him to remind him of Jim Plunkett.
He can still remember that far back?
You see, we try to add.
Well,
some
then remember
objectivity
Marcus
to the
Allen,
game.
you son of a bitch.
Now you know what? That was the example to me. Karma's a bitch, and I'm gonna say that.
Right.
Karma's a bitch. Look, a lot of owners actually bum rush players and try to teach them a lesson sometimes, and they do it very carefully.
Right.
That was so overt that the part that I don't respect him for is that he said, "Look, you're the owner. You can do what you want with your team." But when you have a player who actually has game left in his legs and you're trading that off for winning the games with players who are lesser, then I turn around and say, you've already tripped, you've already taken out what I think is the element of excellence.
That's right. One word, Al. Euthanasia.
It's wrong. It's wrong.
Euthanasia.
I'm not wishing that on you. I am trying to, everybody has
Call
their...
Dr. Kevorkian.
Hey, karma, religion, prayer, everything else. Do what it takes
Whatever. Get out of the way, Al.
Okay.
Take up another sport, Al. Beach volleyball. Let them grace them with your interests.
You're being hard, man. You're being hard. Okay, we're going to go back over here because going back to ownership, I want to tie this into what's happening with Darrelle Revis. Basically, they are $40 million apart on coming to an agreement.
That close.
That's
only 40 million.
And notice that on my 40 million image here, it says it's a baseball image. But remember, we're publishing live, and for my image, it shows it's a baseball player. So I forgive you.
It's a baseball player here.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Darrelle Revis. That's okay.
Take care of your
right,
upload.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Don't worry about
What's wrong with your upload?
Yeah, that's okay. But let me just go on to what's happening here, because here's the part that I agree with. The public usually gets fooled in hearing big contracts. And here's the contract that I think they offered. They offered 10 years at $120 million, which at the end with all the packaging would have been about 140 or 60 million, somewhere in there. That's not the issue. The issue is the owners can sign and bring up any type of contract over a period of time. That contract still, based on the comparison to the best contract in the league for its position, Amdi Asamoah, still would have been less. And over 10 years, that's a long time, which means he's going to be performing hopefully at a higher level. The problem, Mario, that the owners have Trump on this, they only deal with guaranteed money. So obviously the 40 million apart is not that the contract is no good, is how the owners have the leverage of going like, here's the biggest contract in the world, but you only get this much guaranteed money. How do you feel about that, man?
I feel you need to get everything you can.
So you're on the side of Darrelle right now.
I'm never going to be on the side of the owners almost. It has to be really blatant.
Right.
It really has to be, because to me it's just part of the whole system. It's the plantation.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think
it's a rich plantation, but it's still a plantation.
Right.